We human beings are loyal creatures of habits. So much so, that if we started calculating, we'll find that we are just as much made of our habits as cheese is made of milk. From morning toothbrushing to watching our favorite TV shows, the words we choose to speak, to the bed we like to sleep on, all are just habits. We even love and hate out of habit. We reject and accept out of habit. If we look closely, we sometimes even seem to follow culture, religion and social rules more out of habit than by actual reasoning. In fact, our whole life, our thinking and behavior patterns and our mindset is nothing except just a set of acquired habits that pass on to become 100% of who we think we are. We get so used to doing things that we don't even pause to think why we're doing them or if doing them makes any sense at all. The following are 10 things we do that don't make sense but we do them anyway. Medication for problems that don't always need medication. Pills are the modern meal of modern people. We 21st century high-tech wielding, AI mastering people cannot live without medicines even though medical intervention is not always deemed necessary. Research says that occasional common colds, simple headaches, coughs, fatigue, minor bruises and cuts etc. go away on their own without needing a treatment. In fact, most common cold symptoms can be relived just by resting and hydrating oneself. Unless symptoms are too bad to live with, they can be tolerated with a little bit of rest and patience, giving them time to run their course. Why then do we prefer to pump our system with pills and medicines if the problems don't need them, and we know that problems don't need them? Having our shoes on all the time. Artificial is becoming the new natural. We're so used to staying in shoes or footwear all the time, we don't know anymore what being barefoot feels like. Many people feel sticky, clammy, cold, uncomfortable, cringy and even unable to walk without some kind of thing between the floor and their foot soles. Well, shoes or socks are a necessity when the climate is cold, or the floors aren't warm, clean or comfortable. But even with fully carpeted floors, perfectly clean, shiny floors, people consciously prefer to keep their shoes or socks on the entire time. The fact is, being barefoot is actually good for one's health, especially heart health. Letting television run the entire time as background activity. Screen of any kind is officially our family member. Television is just the eldest cousin, and watching television without watching it is one of the newest styles of television watching and are multitasking. Many people switch on their television sets and let it run in the background like a comforting presence of white noise to counter the stillness of loneliness, solitude and emptiness, and to fight the sound of silence. Some indulge in just mindless watching just because they happen to sit in front of it and have nothing else to do, or they are too lazy, busy or preoccupied to do anything else. But if depression and boredom is not the case, aimless television doesn't help except increasing our electricity bill. Consuming artificially flavored, colored, sugar, oil, salt-rich food. Have you ever wondered what's the taste of dandelion leaves? Or fresh boiled unsalted potato? Or fresh milk cheese without salt? Or fruit juices without additional sugar? All edible things have a particular taste of their own, but we rarely get to know them, chiefly because we're so habitual of eating them artificially flavored, heavily seasoned and flavor enhanced. We increasingly tend to eat substances even when there's no need to eat them, and we don't even notice their presence. In fact, sometimes addition of basic salt, sugar or oil makes almost no noticeable difference, but we do them anyway. Consuming tinned, canned or preserved foods. There is a time and place for everything, which means even tinned foods have a utility nothing can compare it with, such as during travel, hiking or times of emergency. But when we aren't hard pressed, why do we consume tinned foods that we can very well consume fresh? Tinned tomatoes, frozen veggies and fruits, ready-to-eat meals, preserved fruits and sugar syrup, cup noodles etc. are some examples of convenience at low cost, which in the long run cost us gigantic losses in currency of our health. Tinned, canned, preserved foods are super convenient but super unhealthy. Drinking bottled water. Many of us drink only bottled water even when water standards are sterling. In fact, having a bottle of water accompanying us at all times even more faithfully than our life partner, is yet another standard we've become quite used to and can't live without. Some get so seriously hooked to flavored, carbonated water or sterilized water that they would rather risk discomforts of dehydration than face the displeasure and complications of drinking normal water. In fact, some people find the taste of normal drinking water so revolting, they actually feel like throwing up. Still using plastic. Plastic is still ruling our life. There are at least 100 ways how we can avoid using unnecessary plastic without compromising our health, hygiene, safety, convenience and modern lifestyle, but do we? Hardly. Toothbrushes, yogurt cups, shopping bags, single-use articles, balloons, glitters, even individually packed food and grocery items that we merrily continue to buy and use even when we know their impact on our planet. Even when we know that it is easily avoidable. Incessant social media, email, WhatsApp checking. Obsessive-compulsive disorder long ago lost the race to obsessive-compulsive social media checking disorder. Social media and connectivity is the new blood that courses our veins, and nobody wants to die of social media anemia. We check our emails, messages and our social networks the first thing in the morning, the last before dropping asleep, and a million times in between, including meal times, bathroom breaks, midnight loo break, using an elevator or waiting for traffic signal. We're all guilty of this, and we all know that it isn't guilt for sure. And it isn't. It is just a mindless habit that we have latched on to and now can't live without, no matter how much pleasures and pains it brings us. By the way, do you know what's the biggest cause of stress and anxiety in our modern world? Breakup? No. Getting cheated? No. Getting fired? No. Lost money? No. Lost your mobile phone? Yes. Lost your social media account? Yes. Can't buy new latest edition mobile phone? Yes. No internet and Wi-Fi? Yes, yes, yes. So connected somewhere that we are disconnected everywhere else. Overconnected like hell, and loving it like hell. That's us. Existing only on 5 to 10 social media networks is way old school and uncool. It's almost like not existing at all. In other words, if we are only on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and WhatsApp, it is like living in a primitive village. To enjoy the benefits of a glitzy, bling bling, busy metropolitan global city, we need to have presence in at least 20 to 30 sites. It's quite another matter if we cannot recognize who those fellows are who from time to time emerge from other rooms in our house and waste their time on the dining table. We express our feelings in superlatives. Superlatives are the norm these days. We only exist on high end of the spectrum, like there's no middle. That is, we either have the best, or the worst. Nothing in between. Whether we are in misery or pain, happy or sad, successful or in loss, excited, tired or bored, we describe, think and refer to our state of being inadvertently in the extreme ends of the spectrum, like there's no middle and never has been. If our head aches, we want to die. If a party gets cancelled, we want to kill everyone on the planet. A bad hair moment makes us want to call 911 in panic. We describe a moderately nice enjoyable weekend as rocking. A new pair of jeans sends us to cloud 9, and any set of flat abdomen, toned muscles and slender figure makes us fall in love at first sight with racy heartbeats and butterflies in stomach and all, hundreds of times. Not that it matters much. Well, actually it does. Every time we tell someone we can't bear something, we actually end up being unable to bear it. Every time we think of normal things in superlatives, it starts a vicious chain reaction of dissatisfaction, deflation, disillusion and a false sense of being in our subconscious. Why? Because that's what is bound to happen when we think of a penny as a pound, or a pound as a penny, or a molehill as a mountain, or a mountain as a molehill. One is positive, the other is negative, and it tremendously affects our subconscious mind. All the time. But that's just my opinion. Thanks for watching.